Hi everyone! Welcome back to Jin and Soul Closet. I haven't posted in a while. That was because I was busy moving into a different apartment. I moved back into New York City. You might notice that there's a different new background. But I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be a little show and tell of my favorite vintage pieces that either I bought or I got from my mom. So my mom has this thing where she buys new clothes and then a few years later she gives them to me, which is a very nice arrangement for me, obviously, because I have new clothes, and she usually buys stuff that's more expensive than what I would usually buy. She also has the same kind of closet philosophy as me, where she just keeps her nice clothes indefinitely until trends cycle around and they become wearable again. So not all of these clothes are going to be the most trendy designs available, but I can usually wear them into more modern outfits. And I really like doing that because it gives me that very unique edge over newer items. So I would say my mom's clothes are probably 1/3 to half my closet, and I will be showing you 3 of my favorite pieces for cold weather because it's February and it's freezing rain outside right now. So the first piece I have is this black dress, which I'm actually not sure where or when this was purchased because all the tags have been taken off. It is one of my mom's hand-me-downs. I like to wear this dress in the winter for more formal occasions because the bodice is made of like a thick satiny material. This is probably good to fit up to cocktail dress code depending on how I style it. And one of the things that I like about this dress is that things can be layered under it, so it's pretty warm for the winter. For example, I can wear like a base layer shirt under the top and a pair of fleece lined tights for the bottom. And it does have a lining down to the legs. And another thing that I really like about this dress is the design of the skirt portion. I am usually a big fan of the accordion pleated style skirts. And one other thing that's unique about this dress is that it's actually tiered, which you don't see a lot with pleated skirts. I usually don't wear like tiered or broomstick style skirts and dresses because I feel like those make me look even shorter than I actually am, but this falls straight and it's like a subtle detail that it's tiered, so it doesn't have as much of that effect. Now, to style this dress, I find it easiest to go for an all black look and wear a pair of black boots with it. So something sleek like this pair of Chelsea boots will probably be more appropriate for the slightly formal occasions that I was talking about earlier. And this is actually exactly how I dressed for a holiday dinner with my office a few years ago. Well, granted, my holiday dinners don't usually have a dress code, but it is usually at pretty nice restaurants. So if I had to dress up the outfit even more, I would do it with more formal accessories like sophisticated looking gold and silver jewelry or bags with rigid structures like the ones you see here. Optionally, you can add tailored outerwear like a blazer or a minimal coat with clean lines. The exact same black boot combination can also be dressed down if I choose to wear docs instead, and that's just because docs themselves are super casual looking. Docs go great with oversized things because of the oversized silhouette and the round toe shape, so an oversized outer layer like this jacket will look very cute with this kind of outfit. And if you want to take it a step further with the oversized fit, definitely add chunky cold weather accessories like a big cozy scarf and a big beanie in matching colors like you see here. And another way that I style this dress, which is maybe a little less conventional, is with different girly accessories. So you might already know that I'm a big fan of detachable collars. So definitely check out my video about styling detachable collars if you haven't yet. The one that I have is a light chiffonish fabric that's similar to the fabric of the dress, so it'll match my dress like this. I feel like this color looks especially good with straight and cocoon shaped outfits, which this dress definitely is. To match the girliness of the color, I will go for a pair of equally girly shoes. So the second piece I have today is really unique looking, and it is this coat. It's almost electric blue coat from Kuho. It was made in 2012, so it's not technically vintage yet, but it will count as vintage later this year. And it is just beautiful, except it's really tricky to work into outfits because of the shape of the collar, which is the unique part of this coat. My main problem is that I usually like to wear coats with the buttons open most of the time, but this coat with the buttons open will just kind of slide down my shoulders. So I do have to keep it closed most of the time, and then the shape of this collar starts to become tricky. So what exactly is tricky about the color? I found that the neckline is really deep and really wide compared to normal coats. So pretty much the only neckline that works under this coat is like a turtleneck or an embellished neckline like a scarf neck, and maybe something which only shows part of the neckline under the coat will also work, but those are pretty much the only three necklines that I found to work with this coat. So you might be thinking, if this coat is so tricky to wear, why are you keeping it? Well, first of all, it's from Kuho, which means it was probably really expensive. And second, the color is beautiful, and I really like to wear bright colors in the winter just because everybody else is wearing black and I like to stand out against them. So let's go right into the outfits for this one. So now I have figured out a couple different ways to style this coat elegantly. The first is, like I said earlier, to match it with a turtleneck top, but preferably one that doesn't fold down or slouch at the neck. So something super simple and classic like this sweater. It's a navy color that complements the blue of the coat nicely. And for the bottoms, I'm wearing a pair of straight slacks in a matching navy color, which makes a very minimal outfit that gives all the focus to the very pretty coat. And now the outfit under the coat ends up being pretty dark, so I'm choosing to brighten it up a little bit with subtle enhancements, so to speak. For example, the shoes I'm wearing are black loafers, but with light colored python print tips. And in my hair, I'm wearing a blue headband, which is going to match the color of the coat. Another item that I found to work with the neckline of the coat is scarf necks. The blouse that I'm wearing has an attached scarf, but I think something like a high neck blouse with an actual scarf would also work. And the point here is that you either want a high neckline or the neckline has to be partially hidden under the coat collar. So for this outfit, I'm tying the scarf in a bow to achieve the classic girly collar and bow look. And by the way, this scarf neck top is a true vintage piece that's about 14 or 15 years old, and I actually got it myself while in high school. So I'm going to pair this blouse with a blue accordion pleated skirt, which is pretty much my favorite item to wear with this coat because I just love the way the straight pleats contrast with the soft round shape of the coat. And I'm also going to add some red to counteract all the blues in the outfit. So my bag is going to be this little red mini bag. And just for fun, I think this coat's vibe is very old Hollywood actress. And that means I have to channel the classic black and white era movie star glam with the whole ensemble, complete with the headscarf, red lips, and the matching blue heels. If you want, you can throw in some pearls for even more fun. And the last piece I have today is this plaid midi skirt which might actually be the oldest single piece of clothing that I own because it is from the 1970s. So I bought this for Black Friday in 2018 from an Etsy store that's literally called Candy Flip Shop, which is funny to me because I'm immature, I guess. But this is a true wrap skirt, so I can undo all the fastenings and it'll basically look like a plaid blanket. It is fastened by a few buttons on the inside and these two leather buckles, which are adjustable, and I really appreciate that because if I'm wearing this and sitting in the office after lunch, like my stomach just bloats a lot. So I do appreciate the adjustability. Also, it came with this like large safety pin, which is also keeping the skirt together so that like I'm not just like flashing everybody. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be part of the skirt, but it came with it. And I really like it because it is a punk vibe that goes with the 1970s time period that the skirt is supposed to be from. Despite being vintage, it's a very modern design. So if you look at fast fashion sites for the last few years, basically the mini version of this skirt has been popular for a while, which is pretty great for a vintage item like this. When I first bought this skirt, the product page had it styled like this. And it's honestly not how I would personally wear it, just because it's made from wool and I hate wearing heavy things in warm weather. But it is a pretty unique styling and I thought I would try recreating it. So I do have this top that's pretty much the same thing with garter straps. And it's from a British brand called Marriott. These random straps are part of their brand aesthetic. And I definitely do not have shoes that are even remotely like that. So I'm going to wear the most punk shoes that I own, which are, of course, Docs. And to top it off, I'll put on a black choker, which is obviously super punk. In the second outfit with the skirt, I will actually make it office appropriate. So this time, the skirt is going to be the centerpiece of the outfit, and I'm matching it with more minimal pieces, like this black turtleneck top. And this matches the black from the skirt. It's very plain to serve as sort of the canvas that the skirt can shine on. And in that same vein, I'm wearing black tights and simple black Chelsea boots. I do not want to wear any jewelry with this outfit because there's already visual elements on the skirt, like the buckles and the safety pin, which should draw and keep your eyes there. The only accessory I'll wear is a simple green bag that's a similar shade to the skirt's color, which again does not distract your eyes. If I had a simple black coat, I would wear that, but I don't, so I'm wearing this menswear inspired minimal gray coat instead. This is going to be the last outfit of this video and a pretty fun one. So I'm a pretty big Wes Anderson fan and of course I watched The French Dispatch in theaters. And one of the supporting characters in this movie is Juliet, who wears this sort of schoolgirl outfit with a plaid skirt. So I have my plaid skirt already. I can't see what kind of top she's wearing underneath, but she has a brown leather jacket. And I also have one, which is actually another vintage item. I'll definitely be covering this if I make another vintage video. And for the top, I'm just going to find a brown top that's a matching color. She's wearing brown tights and brown boots. I don't really own either. For the sake of variety, I will do brown socks with brown menswear loafers. And by the way, these shoes are from the office of Angela Scott, and I actually got to style these shoes for them and did a little interview, which you can see on my Instagram highlights. So the cherry on top of the original outfit is, of course, the motorcycle helmet, which is not really practical and I don't own one anyway. So instead, I'm wearing this brown trapper hat and normal sunglasses, which is basically the same idea, right? So I bought this hat in high school. This is actually also vintage. And this is it. This is my interpretation of Juliet from The French Dispatch. If you had fun watching this video, please like and leave a comment. I always appreciate getting comments and finding out which outfits you like the best. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching and bye!